discussing the issues that make Phoenix a world-class city. Now, On the Issues.
I'm Councilman Jim Waring, and welcome back to On the Issues. Today, we're going to be talking with United States Senator John McCain. Senator, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. It's good to be back with you.
There's not much going on in Washington, so I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll try to fill the time. First of all, you were on the show almost a year ago. We talked a lot then about the implications of the coming election and so forth. We're now a year past that. The election's over. I think we both thought that maybe issues would be resolved that are now not resolved. Can you talk about a little bit about where we're at and where we're going?
I think that it's a high degree of partisanship. There has not been outreach on the part of the president, in my view. The last fiscal cliff that we approached was the vice president who negotiated with our Republican leader in the Senate. The president, we are now facing in Arizona the loss of thousands, tens of thousands of jobs because of the so-called sequestration that's just beginning to hit home. And the president has not sat down with Republicans and Democrats to try to avert what his own Secretary of Defense has said would be catastrophic effects on national security. It would particularly hit hard in Arizona because we have so much military, both bases but also industries like Boeing out in Mesa that makes the Apache helicopter. So we've made a little progress. We're working hard on trying to come up with comprehensive immigration reform. We did avert a meltdown in the Senate. So there has been some progress, but overall it's not a great picture.
What do you think is going to happen? We're going to have this president for over 3.5 years, almost 4 years. You know, next the congressional election won't kick in until January of 2015, so it's a long way to go. How do things improve?
Well, I think a lot of that is up to the president because he is elected as president, but I think it's also important, very frankly, for us to respect the election. The American people made a decision. They decided to re-elect him, and we need to respect the verdict of the people, even if that's a little painful. So we need to do what we can to work with the president in areas that we think can help the country. Look, short term, I think the economy, and even here in Arizona, as well as here in Arizona, is going to show some improvement. But long term, there's no economist in America that won't tell you that the debt and the deficit, unless we do something about it, the consequences of it will be a terrible economic situation in this country. So we at least have to show a willingness to sit down with the president. But also we have to show the people that we have plans and ideas. And our job is not just to try to block the president. Our job is to come up with proposals and ideas that the American people can rally around.
We also have foreign policy issues. You've been front and center, obviously, on those issues. You pick just a couple that are sort of front and center right now in the American people's minds, and what do you think is going to happen?
In Syria, nearly 70,000 people have been massacred, and the president sits by and watches it. We could provide weapons to the people who are fighting against Bashar Assad. He's receiving massive amounts of arms from Russia, Iranian Revolutionary Guard on the ground. The slaughter goes on, and the president sits by. All over the Middle East and in most of the world, people believe the United States is weak and withdrawing. That's just a fact, and we're going to pay a very heavy price for that. Benghazi, still, there's so many unanswered questions. It's a cover-up, and the families of those 4 Americans who were killed deserve a lot better. They've continued to stonewall. For example, we have still not even gotten the names of those who were in the consulate who were then taken to Germany. We still haven't gotten the talking points as to why Ambassador Rice went on national television to say that it was a spontaneous demonstration. Everybody knew it wasn't. The list goes on, and we don't know what the president was doing on the night of this attack. We know he was an hour on the phone with the Prime Minister of Israel. We've made 2 movies about bin Laden. We know exactly what he did